Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's Jim here. So, hi there, and welcome to this first GCSE Business live revision session on YouTube. Looking at the screen in front of me, I can see Graham in the top right, Mike bottom right, and Peter, who's joined us live from a lesson in the bottom left. So, Graham, do you want to take over the session and explain a bit about what we're going to be doing for the next 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, hello everyone. So we've got 30 minutes of GCSE fun and frolics on the topic of marketing. There are 5 or 6 different activities. We're going to start off with an activity called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then a bubble quiz, a 60-second challenge, a true or false activity. Then we're going to finish with some conundrums and calculations. Now, it would be useful before we start if you had a pen and a piece of paper maybe to write some answers down. Also, a calculating implement, something with which to perform calculations. That could be a calculator or a smartphone, or not a smartphone, anything with which you can perform calculations. Now, we've got the chat window open. There will be opportunities to type some answers in the chat window. So some activities lend themselves more than others to typing answers in the chat window. But if you need any clarification, please use the chat window. We are monitoring it so we can respond accordingly. Now, just in case I forget at the end, we're going to be running these once a week. The next one is on the 4th of February at 3 p.m. on a Thursday, and that is on finance. So let's go. So I'm going to hand you over to Peter to do the first activity, which is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over to Peter.
Hello, folks. So we're going to start off with revising some key marketing theory. You're going to have 2 minutes to answer the following questions. If you wouldn't mind changing the slide, please, Jim. And how this works is as follows. Can you give me 5 examples of different extension strategies that a business might employ? Have a think about the product life cycle when you try to develop these. 4 elements of the marketing mix. 3 methods of promotion that a business might use. 2 influences on the price that a business might charge, and finally 1 method of distribution. Right, I can see some answers coming through the chat window. It's good to see. When you're thinking about methods of promotion, think about the purpose of promotion, think about how it could be used, the specific product or services in question. From the chat window, it seems to be clear that we're all clear about our elements of the marketing mix. That's good to see. Excellent start. Regardless of the exam board that you study, it's a common area of testing, common area of assessment going forward.
5, 4, 3.
Some interesting points coming through now.
1.
Excellent answers. Okay, what we're going to do now is take you through the answers. We'll begin with 5 examples of extension strategies. So, first and foremost, a business could, if they wanted to, extend the life of their product, update the packaging. That might attract new customers who may have switched their taste and preference to something else. They could change the target market, so that might involve targeting a different demographic or a different income group. They could lower the price. That might influence and target more price-sensitive customers. Good use of persuasive advertising might encourage customers to buy, or they could add more or new existing features. And of course, there was that example of the PlayStation 4 a few years ago where they launched the PS4 Pro that had a bigger hard drive in it. to enable users to save more games. So we'll now go on to number 4, which was the 4 elements of the marketing mix. Make sure you're ticking these off as you go. And of course, there's the product itself, the price of the product, and depending on your exam board, you may need to understand the various pricing strategies. Promotion, another key element of the market mix, and of course, place, otherwise known as distribution. 3 methods of promotion you might have had: sponsorship. Of course, the mighty Newcastle United are playing later on, and they've got a number of different sponsors that you can see on their shirts. There's also advertising, which could take the form of TV advertising, radio advertising, or if we're being a little bit more 21st century, of course, there's adverts on social media such as Instagram and Facebook. Of course, product placement as well, good example coming through the chat there. And special offers and sales promotions such as 3 for 2 or buy one, get one free. Number 2 influences on pricing strategies are the amount of competition that's in the market and of course the stage that product is at within the product life cycle. And finally, 1 method of distribution is direct from the retailer to the consumer. Okay, so some of you might have put e-tailers there, given it's a common area of the new Nighthorn specs. Or you might have had something a little bit different, but retailers are of course one of the most common distribution strategies. Okay, thank you very much, Jim.
Thanks, Peter. Mike here now. So we're going to look at a little bubble quiz, a few questions. And for each of these questions, you're going to get 4 possible answers. Now, it could be that all 4 of those answers are correct. It could be that none of them are correct, or anywhere in between, 1, 2, or 3. So what you're going to do here, you can all have a go at this. You can all put your answers in the chat window. What I'm looking for here is a number. For you to be able to tell me the number of correct answers, if any, that there are shown on the screen. Let's look at the first one. Jim, can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you very much. So question number 1 on the bubble quiz: which of these are stages in the product life cycle? Growth, differentiation, decline, and introduction. So the number of correct answers can range between 0 and 4. Pop your answers in the chat window, please, and we'll have a look. So looking for a number, lots of answers coming in. Some of you being very specific about which ones. And the most common answer I think that we're getting is 3. Let's have a look at the answers then, Jim, please, because 3 is absolutely correct. Introduction, growth, and decline are all stages in the product life cycle. Differentiation is not. Now you've got the hang of it, let's have a look at question 2. So which of these are methods of segmenting a market? Which of these are ways in which the market can be segmented, divided up? Location, income, age, and gender. Location, income, age, and gender. How many of those, if any, are correct? Give me a number, please. If you want to be more specific, you can let me have the letter or letters as well. Fantastic. Thanks all those that are taking part. Again, lots of different answers, but I think the most common is 4. Have they done, Jim? Well, a lot of them have done extremely well. All of these are ways of segmenting the market by location, based on where people live, income based on how much they earn, age, and gender. Okay, all possible ways of dividing up the market. Question 3. Which of these are reasons why meeting customer needs is important to a business? Which of these are reasons why meeting customer needs is important for business? A, to survive, B, to minimize sales, C, to be competitive, and D, to increase costs. Number, please. number will suffice, but you can be more specific if you want to. Thanks, those that are giving me letters as well. Okay, lots of people saying 2, lots of people picking out A and C. Have they done, Jim? The answer is very well. A and C are the correct answers here. Sorry. Reasons why meeting customer needs is important to a business. Well, firstly, to survive, and also to be competitive, to be able to differentiate themselves or to stand out from the competition. Question number 4. Which of these are methods of secondary market research? Which of these are methods of secondary market research? We've got survey, internet, observation, and government reports. Remember, the number of correct answers can range from 0 to 4. Have a go. Give me your answers, please. Good to see some interaction between teachers and students on the chat window as well. Too many correct answers here for me to pick out individual names, but most people are saying 2 again as the number of correct answers. How many of these are methods of secondary market research? The answer is, as so many of you have said, 2. Secondary market research, research that already exists. It's not done firsthand. The internet and government reports. Observation and surveys are both primary market research. Let's have one more bubble quiz question. Which of these are advantages of selling products online only? Take note of the wording of the question, please. Which of these are advantages of selling products online only or only selling products online? Customers can touch and feel the products. Information on websites must be up to date. The cost of delivery can be expensive, and products can be taken away instantly by customers. How many of those, if any, are correct? Good. Thanks to all who are taking part. This is a nice, easy one to answer, isn't it? Just have to give me a number. The answer to the question is that none are correct. 2 of these are disadvantages of selling online, and 2 of them just aren't true, are they? They can't take away products instantly, and they can't touch and feel products. Okay, so none of those are correct. Well done, all those of you that got that correct. Well done, all those that got that right. So I'm going to hand over to Graham, and Graham will take you through a bit of true or false. Graham.
60-second challenge now. Hello, everyone. It is great to see so many answers in the chat window. Monitoring the chat window, there was a lot of negative comments about Newcastle United in there, and I agree wholeheartedly. They are rubbish and they are going to get relegated. Actually, the best team in the North East, Sunderland, are playing tonight, so they'll stay up. Also, someone mentioned about the music. Yes, there is some music on some of the slides. We did try and source some music from Lady Gaga, but unfortunately, we couldn't afford the rights to that music. This activity has got some music. Now, key terms. Hello, Kay. Key terms are a key part of your qualification and your assessment, and they are really important so you can demonstrate accurate knowledge and understanding. Now, on the left, you can see some key terms, A to H, and on the right, 1 to 8. I could be a football commentator, yes. On the right-hand side, 1 to 8, you should be able to see the definitions. All you need to do is match the key term with a definition. So if you think market share is the answer to that is number 1, then just note down A1. So you have 60 seconds with which to try and match as many key terms as possible. If you can type them in the chat window, then please do so. If not, we will run through them after. So Jim, if you could start the music now, please. Great to see so many answers in the chat window there. Yeah, if you just pick a few out, so some people are saying it's B3 or C7, if you just pick one or two out, that would be absolutely fantastic. Superb. So that was the 60-second challenge. It was a challenge. It took 60 seconds, hence the name. Jim, if you could please flick onto the next slide. So hopefully you've got some of those right. I could see lots of answers there in the chat window. So market share, so it was A5. So market share being percentage of total sales in a market that a business holds. It was B3, market segmentation, splitting down the market according to different needs and wants. And we looked at that in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 challenge. Product differentiation, so at C7 is the way a product is seen to be distinct from its rival product. And of course, that can give a business a unique selling point, which in turn could allow it to charge a higher price. So you can just see how knowing a bit of knowledge and understanding can lead to some analysis. Primary market research is research that is collected firsthand for specific needs. Qualitative data is about getting maybe views and opinions. So that is different from quantitative data. Don't get the two mixed up. A focus group is a small group of people who come together to share their views on a specific issue. Customer need and wants, businesses aim to meet these with their product offerings and a retailer method of distribution, a shop that sells directly to customers. Fantastic. So hopefully you managed to get those right. And if you didn't, that's absolutely fine. I can't overestimate the importance of key terms in cementing your knowledge and understanding. So I'm going to pass you over now to Peter, who's going to do the true or false activity.
Okay, folks, we've got about 4 true or false questions coming your way. Again, as Graham said earlier, these true or false statements, of course, if they're correct, can lead the way into some good analysis. So our first one, true or false, constant sales promotions can affect the brand image of a business negatively. What do we think? Can we see some answers in the chat window, please? Quite a lot of trues coming in, the odd few folks entering false. Jim, can we have the answer, please? Okay, those of you who said true, well done. That's what we think. True, constant sales promotions can affect the brand image of a business negatively. Obviously, people can have negative connotations associated if they see adverts far too often, and it can actually lead them to not wanting to buy from that business, and it can work against the business. Okay, so contrary to what the promotion should aim to set about. Next question, please, Jim. Questionnaires are a common way of collecting qualitative data. So here, think about the purpose of the market research tool and think about what the aim of it is to generate. What's a type of data? So this question is all to do with questionnaires. Are they the best way or the most common way of collecting qualitative data? True or false? A few responses so far. Okay, Jim, can we have the answer, please? Those of you who've said false, well done. Okay, think about the purpose of the questionnaire. Think about the way that the questionnaires are usually structured. Usually they've got closed questions, and the purpose of having a closed question is to generate numerical data, which is of course quantitative data. So the answer to that question was false. 2 more questions to go. Next one, please, Jim. A USP can be created through product differentiation. Think about what USP stands for, unique selling point, and then think about how a product may be differentiated. Is this true or false? yes, questionnaires can have open-ended questions. I can see that comment in the chat. Okay. Jim, can we have the answer to this one? I can see a few responses. True. Okay, well done to those of you who said true. A USP can be created through making your product or service different to those of the competition and therefore making it stand out and ultimately encouraging customers to try and then hopefully repeat purchase. Last one coming up here. Sales growth slows down during the growth stage of the product life cycle. Is this true or false? It's a very nice chain of reasoning I can see in the chat window there. Think about your stage of the product life cycle. Think about what else the product life cycle can show. Okay, I think this is resoundingly. We've got false coming through. Let's see if the majority of us are correct. Can we have the answer, please, Jim? Indeed, well done, of course. Sales growth will not slow down during the growth stage of the product life cycle. After introduction in the growth stage, we would expect sales to increase and therefore as well cash inflows for the business to increase. Think about the whole purpose of wanting to generate those cash inflows as well in the growth stage. We've obviously got the R&D costs that might need repaying, dependent upon the nature of the product that's in question that we're thinking about with regard to the life cycle. So that's our true or false quiz over. Thank you. Thanks very much, folks.
Thanks, Peter. Back to me again. We're going to do a couple of different activities here, alternate a couple of different activities to bring us up to the close. First of all, we'll have a conundrum and then followed by a 30-second challenge. So these conundrums work, you're going to see an anagram on the screen, and your task is to try and work out which business term is shown with all the mixed up letters. So try and solve the anagram to identify the business term. You're going to have 30 seconds to do it. Let's go with number one. Okay, I'm not seeing too many answers, not too many business terms anyway, in the chat. Let's have a look at the answer, Jim, and we'll give them a chance to get the hang of this. Extreme knitting diagram comes out as integrated marketing mix. Quite a difficult one. Let's look at our next question, which is a 30-second challenge. So called because you're going to have 30 seconds to try and solve this calculation. So a business sets a sales price for a product at £12. Due to poor sales, it decides to reduce the selling price by £1.50. Calculate the percentage change in selling price. 30 seconds, here we go. Good, well done. Lots of answers coming in, and 12.5% seems to be the most common of those answers. Great to see some of you are being very specific, and you are saying it's a decrease, 12.5% decrease in the selling price. One or two also picking up on the fact that this is a numerical question, it's a calculation, and therefore you're needing to use your numerical skills, some maths. there is an element of this, of course, in GCSE Business Studies, and so it's important to be comfortable in working with numbers. In this case, the difference between the original selling price and the new selling price is £1.50. £1.50 as a percentage of £12 is 12.5%, and because the price has fallen, it's a fall of 12.5%. Extremely well done, all those of you that got that right, and well done those that took part. Let's go back and do another conundrum. You've got the hang of this now, so it's an anagram, and you need to try and solve it and put the answer in the chat window. Let's go. Good luck. Okay, the conundrums seem to be quite difficult, and not too many answers coming through there. But let's have a look, see what the answer is. And the answer is product range. Product range was the second anagram there. Well done for giving it a go, even if you didn't get it right. And we're going to move on and do another 30-second challenge, another calculation question. So calculators at the ready. Here we have a business that generates sales worth £60,000 in a local market. This represents a 40% market share. Calculate the value of total sales that are made in the market as a whole. 30 seconds. Good. We've got lots and lots of answers coming in on the chat window, and lots of them are correct. The answer to this is that the value of total sales made in the market as a whole will be £150,000. 60,000 is 40%, so 60,000 divided by 40 and multiplied by 100. Or if you want to cut out a step, 60,000 divided by 0.4 gives an answer of £150,000, the total value of sales in the market as a whole. But a couple more exercises to go. We'll go back to a conundrum here, and we'll try this one. 30 seconds on this. Just pop an answer in the chat window. Give it a go. Good stuff, and some amusing answers, if not correct. Well done, one or two of you, I think. Let's have a look at the answer, please, Jim. Salami Ice Do is an anagram of social media. Social media. Let's do one more 30-second challenge. One more calculation. An entrepreneur sends out 250 postal questionnaires to houses in the local area to gauge interest in a new business idea. 55 questionnaires are not returned. Calculate the response rate for the postal questionnaire as a percentage of the total number of questionnaires that were sent out. 30 seconds, good luck. Great stuff. And a whole host of answers through here as well. The correct answer to this question is on the screen here, 78%. The response rate is 78%. How do we work that out? Well, 250 minus 55 means that 195 questionnaires were returned. And 195 as a percentage of 250 is 78%. Remember, when you're working with numbers, when you're doing calculations, it's important to show your workings. It's important to show how you got to that final answer, because even if you get that final answer wrong, you might still pick up a mark or two in exam questions. Let's finish with one more conundrum. So one more conundrum for you. 30 seconds on this one. Give it your best shot. Okay, I'm feeling the love for these conundrums. Some very constructive feedback in the chat window. British Mindset Outdo is an anagram of distribution methods. Distribution methods, different ways of getting the product from producer to consumer. Distribution methods. Good news is that there won't be any anagrams in your exams or in your assessments. But it's still helpful for familiarising you, or helpful to familiarise you with some of these business terms. So that's the conundrums and the 30-second challenge. Brings us to a close.
Okay, thanks everyone. So I think we need a conundrum special. To be fair, 1 hour of conundrums. We take a Kaizen continuous improvement philosophy at Tutor to You. So I think maybe we'll remove conundrums from future revision blasts. Just to pick up on a few things, it was great to see so many answers in the chat window. With regards to calculations, obviously you only had 30 seconds to do those, and lots of people were getting the right answer in 30 seconds, which was really great to see. All calculations, make sure you show you're working out. That's really, really important. Our next revision blast, minus conundrums, I think, is on the 4th of February at 3 p.m. That's a Thursday, and that is on finance. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get an alert for whenever we launch another one. If you've got a second in the chat window, are there any specific topics or areas you would like us to maybe devise a question on or a revision blast? And now is the chance. If you type those in the chat window, then we will try and build them in to our future revision blasts. Hopefully you found that useful. It was just a quick calculations. Yes, and we could do more calculations. But from Peter, from Mike, from Jim, from myself, thank you for getting involved. Thanks for spending 30 minutes of marketing, fun and frolics with us. And from all of us, it's goodbye. So Jim, if we can end the broadcast now, please, that would be great. Thank you for joining us. And goodbye.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.